About the 25 years, Japan there's always been a sort of a disconnect in the timing of things, but this time, the development team members in Japan really wanted to do something coordinated. So right now, in Japan, we've timed this event actually to coincide with theirs because they wanted to do it together, and they really felt that the North American fans are really the base for the success of the Final Fantasy.
Give us Type 0! Give it to us now! Type 0! No!
So, I don't know about you guys, but like for me, 7 kind of got me into the franchise. Now I've loved a lot of other titles since then, but 7 was sort of the intro, and you can't forget your first love. And since then we've gone through many iterations, and really that's what this event is all about. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Final Fantasy was the title given to a name where it was really sort of a do-or-die situation for the company. And the success of that title and the 3 hallmarks of that title sort of permeate throughout the entire franchise. And as our CEO, Mr. Wada, has said, these are game quality, the innovative technology that goes into the games, and then just the overall quality of the games. And so, with that, I know this event is a celebration looking back, but it's also a moment to look forward. Forward into some other things on the horizon. And with that, as I mentioned earlier, our development team is doing an event, and they apologize that they couldn't be here in person, but they wanted to say something to you personally, and so they've sent along these video greetings to you all. And with that, can we have that going?
What? I'm Yoshinori Kitase, producer of Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII. Pleased to meet you. I'd like to thank you very much for attending PAX Prime, as well as the Final Fantasy 25th Anniversary event. I'm very sorry that I can't be there in attendance with you today, but I hope everyone has a great time. 25 years ago, a story about crystals and 4 warriors of light marked the beginning of Final Fantasy. For 25 years, the series has continued to offer greatly moving storylines and gameplay experiences that keep evolving from one title to the next. Back in 2006, as the newest tale of the Crystal, we announced the 13th installment of the Final Fantasy series, Final Fantasy XIII.
Gross.
We released Final Fantasy XIII in 2010, followed by a sequel, Final Fantasy XIII-2, earlier this year. In Final Fantasy XIII, we introduced a strong female character named Lightning as the protagonist of the series. And today, following Final Fantasy XIII and Final Fantasy XIII-2, we would like to announce the conclusion to Lightning Saga, Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII.
Oh my god.
This title will not only serve as the conclusion to Lightning Saga, but will also be an introduction of a renewed gameplay system. First and foremost, Lightning returns as the main playable character. In addition, the game system is now much more active, and the world features more expansive environments than before. Our plan is to have this game evolve into one where players can freely control Lightning as they see fit. As for the story, I'm sure it will be a fitting end to Lightning Saga, and one that will leave everyone satisfied. I hope you look forward to it. Now we'll have the creators of Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII share some details. Hope you enjoy. I'm Otomo Toriyama, director of Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII. I'm sorry that I couldn't attend PAX at the Final Fantasy 25th Anniversary event today. However, I would like to talk to you about the concept of the new title, Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII, through this video message. Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII is a new title in which Lightning makes her comeback. Lightning will make her return as an even stronger character than she was in both Final Fantasy XIII and Final Fantasy XIII-2. This time, I had communicated a specific point when I was requesting new visuals from character designer Tetsuya Nomura. Lightning is going to face her final battle in this title. So, I asked him to convey ultimate strength by restoring the power in her eyes. Furthermore, in Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII, we are being particularly selective about creating a gameplay experience that can only come from Lightning. We imagine words that are inspired by Lightning, such as light, speed, or elegance, for example. And we're structuring the game so that players can experience actions derived from those key words. For example, in the battle system, we focused on character customization that would be unique to Lightning. Players will be able to perform exhaustive customization of her. This is the base concept of Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII. Please look forward to this game.
Okay. Final Fantasy XIII-3, completely
Hello,
based on
I'm
fantasy
Isamu Kamikukurio, art director of Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII. I wish I could be there with you all at PAX and the Final Fantasy 25th anniversary event.
He's secretly laughing at us.
As I took on the task of art direction, I first consulted with both producer Kitase and director Toriyama, and had them explain to me the world, concept, and story of this title. Using that as a foundation, I began to contemplate on the overall art direction. First of all, I began by imagining and designing the 4 islands that comprised this game's world.
What's this for? Never saw that.
In terms of the concept, upon hearing the initial ideas from Kitase and Toriyama, I chose 3 key words: Gothic, mechanical, and fantasy, and decided to use them as the 3 thematic elements that would make up the world.
So we're going to be stressed out.
For the key colors, I had drastically pared down the choices to black and white. The staff members and I are working very hard in hopes of delivering an appealing and new kind of game world to you all. In order to make Lightning's new appeal shine even more radiantly, I'm looking to create a game world so wonderful that it leaves a lasting impression. This is the art direction I am reaching for. Please look forward to it, and thank you very much.
There you go. Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII. Thank you very much. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure you guys want a little bit more details, and with that, we have our product manager, Mr. Emirates Lay, waiting in the wings. Eaters can come on from stage. Come on up here, Emirates.
Thank you, David. Thank you everyone so much for coming out to help us celebrate 25 incredible years of Final Fantasy games. You guys like what you're seeing so far?
No.
Oh, by the way, so this morning, someone let their cactuar out. It's been messing with the computer system. So if we get a little caught up in the presentation, I blame the cactuar. You might hear me yelling at it. So, you heard the video message from the developers. The cat's out of the bag. We're officially announcing Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII, where you will play as Lightning in the epic conclusion to her saga. Now, there's 3 things that I want to share with you today. Lightning, the world, and a unique twist on the series. Sound good? Yeah! Cool. So, let's start with Lightning. This is Lightning from Final Fantasy 13. Quick raise of hands. Who's familiar with Lightning? Yeah. So just about everyone in this room. So I don't think it would be a stretch to say that everyone has a special connection with Lightning. Yeah, she was the protagonist. Yeah, she was the protagonist of the series. But she was also considered to be so strong that many considered her as the face of Square Enix. Now this is Lightning. This is still Lightning from Final Fantasy 13. There we go. Lightning, Final Fantasy 13-2. Now, I could go on and on about how awesome Lightning is. You guys already know that. That's not new news. What you guys want to hear about is something new, yeah? Yeah! So first off, is she customizable, as you heard in the video? Yes. Outside of Final Fantasy 13 and 14, this is the most customization you'll be able to do with a Final Fantasy character. Number 2, her costumes, her outfits, are they more than just aesthetics? Yes. In fact, the team is working hard to add new parameters so that her abilities are changed and affected as she goes into battle. How about new weapons? For Final Fantasy 13 and 13-2, you may remember that her weapons were very much a similar form factor. But this time around, we're giving her access to all new weapons of sizes and shapes. Now, does anyone care to know that you have more control over Lightning this time around? Yes. As you heard?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm glad you asked. So, 13-2, we enable jumping. But now, Lightning returns, not only can you jump, you can hang off ledges, you can pull yourself up. You can duck behind corners.
That is pretty awesome. There's never been jumping before in Final Fantasy.
And one more thing that is first for Final Fantasy. You will be able to control Lightning's movements while in battle. Ready to go?
That's what I've been asking since the first one. What are we going to do next? Next, they'll make the game playable.
That's still Lightning. Maybe the cactar moves forward. All right.
You can move
One more.
like we always want.
All right. So the next concept that we're talking about is called world-driven. Think of it as a world that is alive. This. Anyone recognize what this is? Probably won't recognize it because it's all new. This is Belmont Quarters, where the game takes place. It's comprised of 4 islands. You're going to see varying terrains and it's surrounded by the Sea of Chaos. Now on the back, you're going to notice a few things.
Sea of Chaos, yeah.
Oh, Cactar. Alright.
Hey,
So
look,
in the back,
Saturn.
you're seeing the Shrine of Etro, and floating up in the sky, that is the new cocoon.
Oh.
So it may look idyllic, it may look peaceful, but rest be assured, wherever Lightning treads, doom tends to follow. So let's take a closer look into the first locales. This is Luxurium, City of Light.
Wow.
It's very bright. There it is. Alright, so as noted by the art director, the look and feel of this game is driven by 3 inspirational words: mechanical, gothic, and fantasy. You can kind of see how they all bring together in this concept art. You see the heavy use of black and white. It alludes to darkness and light. You also see a clear mixture of history and current. You can see it has an antique look, yet up in the back you might see that monorail. We'll speak to that in just a second. So, if you ever played any of the Final Fantasy games, which I'm sure you guys have, you know that the team's going to bring this absolutely into beautiful life. Here's a look at some of the buildings. You notice there's a mixture of medieval as well as futuristic design cues. Now let's look at some of the, let's just say, not so fortunate areas. You can see it's kind of hobbled together. It's made of scraps, and it's quite a drastic difference from the previous images. but it can clearly be in the same world. Now for the set dressing. The team is putting painstaking detail into the details to make sure that everything comes together in this wonderful way of mechanical, gothic, and fantasy. And we were recently in Japan, and while we can't show you the game in motion just yet, I can tell you it's absolutely stunning.
Dude, it's Final Fantasy Adventure, not Kingdom Hearts.
So this monorail is key to the game. It's what's going to get you to and from the island.
Is that monorail upside down?
Now, if you guys have been to Disney World,
Epic.
you can liken it to their monorail, right? Where it takes you from park to park to park. Or if you've never left the Pacific Northwest, you might liken it to Seattle's light rail. Only to, you know, really beautiful, epic, far-out places. And I'm not saying it's not epic. I lived there for 3 years. It is beautiful. Lots of trees.
Polygon disease.
So, remember, the world is alive. For a world to be alive, it needs inhabitants.
He might be.
So here's a look at some concept art. These folks. I'm going to guess they're probably a little shady, a little questionable. Maybe
They're a
it's
little
the
gothic and mechanical.
Maybe it's the concealed face masks.
And fantasy.
Maybe it's the mechanical backpacks that they're wearing. I'm not sure, but I'm going to guess that they probably shouldn't be trusted.
I trust her though.
Thieves. I'm going to take a guess that they're probably stealing
like
out of the backpacks of the hooded folks.
Wink, wink.
Now,
I never
what would
knew.
be a Final Fantasy game? You can't jump into a Final Fantasy game without exclude new monsters. So
Why does it
I'm gonna
look
show you
like
a couple,
Final
but
Fantasy
I'm gonna
Assassin's
press
Creed?
it. Seeing it as concept art really doesn't do it justice. We just saw them in game. And the size and scale.
Oh wow.
Take a look.
That's so interesting.
These monsters are the result of chaos.
Look at their foot.
It's like high heels.
This one, I don't even want to get into battle with him. I don't know what's happening on the left. This is pretty crazy. And then there's the skeletons. Let's just say it's not going to be easy to fight.
They look like Egyptian.
So it's a unique world with unconventional habits.
Wow, look at those
And
butterflies.
you know what? If you guys are like me, I wouldn't have my Final Fantasy game
Those are some epic
any
butterflies.
other way. So that takes us to the third concept, a unique twist on the series. How many people are here familiar with the Doomsday Clock?
Zelda.
So I probably don't need to explain, but I will really quickly. So the concept of a Doomsday Clock is that when the clock strikes 12, that's the end of the world. And by that, you can gauge
12
how much
on the
time is
third
left. Now the team was so enamored with this concept, they built the entire game around this concept. So much to the fact that when you start the game,
Wow,
there are
that was
only
creative.
13 days left. Surprising? Huh? 13 days left. Now, of course,
No, they don't have a giant moon.
there are actions
Well, I
you
mean,
can
they
do
do
to
have
slow
cocaine.
down the clock. There are actions you can do to maybe turn the hands back. There are also things you can do that allow you to move forward. But the long and short of it is, there's 13 days and there's 13 nights.
And
to
Link,
save humanity.
I mean Lightning,
So to take it back
gets
to the
in
world,
Ocarina.
this is
I
the hustle and
mean,
bustle of the morning. Kids go to school, adults go to work, and there's video gamers in the world, like probably most of us.
Dude, totally
You're
Assassin's
probably
Creed.
sitting at home playing video games. The point is that the world is energized, it's alive. Each character in this game, they all have a story, and they all move in time with this clock. This concept art illustrates what it looks like it does. Because every region, every locale in this
Yeah, that's
game
pretty
is
epic.
subjected to this clock. You will feel the sun rise, you will feel the sun set. Everything in this world goes in accordance to this clock. Which takes us to night. In the nighttime, people head home, taverns open up, and there's a huge amount of alluring qualities in the evening. But it's also a time filled with danger. Remember those monsters from earlier? Don't be surprised to see them when the sun sets. So don't say I didn't warn you. And lastly, that monorail. So, as awesome as it is, it too, just like everything in this world, runs off this clock. It too runs on a schedule. So, actually you might recognize there is no monorail in that concept art. Because you don't want to get holed up in some region waiting for the monorail to take you to another island. This is critical time. There's only 13 days, and there's only 13 nights to save humanity. So, that's it. That's a quick look at Lightning Returns. I'm almost out of time. It's time for Lightning to face their final battle.
I think I'm actually going to buy it. Of course it's on that shelf.
Quick note. This is not final boss art. Not final art. We're excited to announce Lightning Saga concludes in 2013. So if you want to find out a little bit more information, after 8 p.m. we're going to be running a video over in the future session. A 38-minute video from the developers that shows just a little bit more in the details. It's also going to be played on our website. So that's it. This Lightning Returns. Thank you.